Currently, I'm on vacation and I brought with me a ton of samples because, well, they're much easier to pack so I can review them for you. In this video, I'll review 5 decants and in the end, I'll tell you which ones are just a like, strong like, or love for me. But watch the entire video because some perfume that might not work out for me for some reason might be just what you would love. Also in this video, I'll review the new 2024 perfume release from the House of Oud, Guilty Crush, so stay tuned until the end. And welcome back, I'm Miri and here we talk in depth about fragrances. The first sample is Paris-Edimbourg from L'Eau de Chanel collection, which is inspired by places Coco Chanel love to travel to. The entire collection is designed as eau fraiches because they are light, refreshing, and they all come in clean, simple, minimalistic, rounded bottles topped with a black cap, engraved with a double C. And some have already mentioned the shape of these bottles is reminiscent of alcohol flasks people used to carry when traveling, so that matches the inspiration as well because these fragrances should transport you to the places Coco Chanel loved to travel. Paris-Edimbourg, as the name suggests, takes you to the Scottish countryside, so the green juice reflects that idea. Scottish landscapes where Coco had a love affair with the Duke of Westminster in the 1920s. Paris-Edimbourg opens icy fresh with some tart lemony flavor, aromatic minty herbalness, woodiness, and this characteristic Chanel's aldehydic, bubbly, fizzy vibe. It feels very relaxing, and even though the scent feels icy cold, there's also some sweetness to it. It seems like bergamot or some other citrus is used in the top notes, even though it's not listed, or maybe the scent just plays with citric facets of juniper berries and cypress, but the opening truly smells lemony. And that lemony flavor is infused with sparkling, fizzy, bubbly vibe. So it reminds me of the scent of lemon, gin and tonic, but because you also get an aromatic, minty, herbal scent from juniper berries and this woody, slightly spicy, conifer-like cypress. The opening smells like you're drinking sparkling and icy cold gin and tonic while strolling in Scotland's oakwood forest. The scent is relatively linear, so it doesn't drastically change in the dry down. Mostly, that lemony feel you got at the top gradually fades away while being replaced with a pale, dried lavender that smells almost washed up, but it also has some menthol eucalyptus vibe, which traces you could also smell in the opening as well. In the heart, spicy facets get a bit more noticeable together with some smokier, incensey nuances and a more prominent dry wood accord, while in the base, the scent gets just a little bit more soapy. Even though Paris-Edimbourg is a light, fresh, cool, green, almost weightless fragrance, these darker, woodier, smokier facets give it some depth and texture. This is the scent of returning home from a walk in a foggy, damp forest, so you can still smell the odors of woody, aromatic green landscape and its cold air on your clothes, mixed with the warmth of the flames flickering in the fireplace inside a wooden cabin. Paris-Edimbourg smells very natural and it has traditionally men's cologne vibe, but the contrast between light citrusy freshness and warm woodiness smells so elegant. So even though this definitely leans more masculine, women who like green woody fragrances will enjoy it as well. But despite its green, dewy and woody scent, it still smells elegant and formal, maybe because of that slightly aldehydic, bubbly top and some soapiness that lures in the background in the base notes that is quite untypically Chanel. Therefore, Paris-Edimbourg isn't just your typical everyday scent. This has some formality to it, so even though it smells outdoorsy, it would fit for situations when you need to dress up for some fancy occasion, and it's best to wear it in spring, summer and fall. The price is relatively reasonable for Chanel standards, and even though the scent is on the lighter side, I get about 5 hours of longevity on my skin with moderate projection. I really like it. I really like how cool and fuzzy green it smells, but at the same time, you get soothing warmth in it as well. Even though I won't be buying a full bottle of it because, well, it's more masculine, I love its scent, and if you're looking for a gift for your boyfriend or husband, I think Paris-Edimbourg would be a great choice. It would smell amazing on a guy, and thus I would rate it with 8 out of 10. So if you're into natural smelling, more subtle scents with green, woody interpretation of Scotland's landscape, this one is a gem. The next sample is Maison Margiela's Beach Walk. Because this is an eau de toilette concentration, I was never really interested in trying it out. What I like about this brand are the bottles. They look like they are stolen from pharmacy, like apothecary jars with fabric labels that look extremely cool with an old school typewriter black ink, while the pump is wrapped with rope giving nautical and beachy vacation vibe. I like their simplicity and also the name because it already tells you what this fragrance will be about. The inspiration was obviously an experience of a walk along a sandy beach while the rays of the sun are warming your skin. That's why this sample and also the carton in which a full bottle comes in have printed Polaroid photograph of beach sand and ocean waves reflecting the inspiration of this fragrance. But how Beach Walk smells. The scent starts off fresh with some brief citrusy bergamot and lemon infused with slight spiciness, but at the same time you get coconutty, creamy milkiness that runs through the entire fragrance. That combo of citruses and creamy, milky coconuts, it's done beautifully and it smells like an intoxicating and cooling coconut water cocktail with bergamot slices. It has the perfect amount of freshness, sweetness, creaminess, and coconut to give a summer vacation mood and transport you to the bar at a beach where you're drinking coconut cocktail with citruses while enjoying freshness of the sea breeze. And very soon, not even 5 minutes after applying, the scent becomes more floral with prominent sweet custardy ylang-ylang, while coconut milkiness is still there, giving almost a lactonic feel to the scent, but flowers outshine coconut. While coconut created a fresh cocktail vibe in the opening because it was combined with citruses, now in the heart because it's mixed with buttery ylang-ylang and powdery heliotrope, it evokes the scent of mono oil used in sunscreen products. You also get some aquatic note similar to a scent of slightly salty ocean breeze, like cologne was used in this perfume as well. But you only get hints of salty air here, while ylang-ylang together with creamy coconutty scent and lotion are the main focus. Beach Walk in the heart smells like after you drank that coconutty cocktail at a bar. Now you put coconutty scent and lotion on your skin and you started walking down the beach with hot sand beneath your feet, sun tickling your tan skin and salty ocean breeze refreshing your senses. This truly smells like a dreamy afternoon walk on the beach. It has relaxing, idle, calming summer vacation effect without being too sunscreamy or chemical. In the base, the scent is just slightly muskier with a hint of woody facets in the background, but still it features ylang-ylang and coconutty, creamy sunscreen scent. It smells like after the walk, you went for a swim in the ocean and now you're lying on the beach while the sun is drying salty water on your suntan lotioned skin. What you get in the base is precisely that warming sensation of sun-kissed, slightly salty skin. Beach Walk is more feminine than unisex fragrance. It's best for late spring and summer, and even though it smells simple and thin from time to time, there's something very blissful and nostalgic in its simplicity. If you like perfumes like Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc Eau de Parfum, Mugler Alien Goddess, or even Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla vibes, you will like Beach Walk as well. It's inoffensive, it's a good bedtime scent as well, and also really good for layering because it will pair nicely with prominent vanilla or coconut fragrances. Since this is an eau de toilette, I get about 3 to 4 hours of longevity on my skin. After an hour, this is a skin scent, so you should consider, is the price worth such softer performance even though the scent is beautiful? Because of the performance, I have to rate it with 6.5 out of 10 even though it's very beautiful, and that is the reason why I won't be getting full bottle of it. But if you like softer, more subtle suntan lotion type of scent on your skin, with your toes in the sand and salty air caressing your hair, then check out Beach Walk. The next fragrance is the new 2024 perfume release from the House of Oud called Guilty Crush. It comes in an egg-shaped bottle with a stopper as a stand while the flacon is placed upside down. I really like how the bottle is decorated with flowers and stripes. It kind of already suggests this will be a girly, fun, cheerful scent, but I'm not particularly fond of the egg-shaped flacon. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The inspiration was to recreate the scent of the lipstick because that is a symbol of elegance, femininity, and sensuality. I love fragrances with a lipsticky vibe, so I thought I will love this one as well. How Guilty Crush smells. Guilty Crush opens with fruity accords. Up front, you get a scent of juicy strawberry with a sour cherry in the background that smells like you're biting into a ripe, succulent, plump strawberry with its juice watering your lips. Even though cherry is obviously still in trend, this isn't cherry-forward fragrance, but it's very fruity. You also get a prominent champagne note with some lipsticky vibe in the background. Champagne doesn't have usual extremely sparkling, fizzy, bubbly vibe like you just pop the bottle of champagne open, but it feels calm and effervescent. It gives this cocktail vibe and it smells like Coeur Royale Many Mentioned, which is a combination of blackcurrant liqueur and champagne adorned with some raspberries, and it perfectly describes how fizzy, sweet and fruity Guilty Crush smells at the top. Strawberry lasts throughout the fragrance, always adding this sweet, fruity aroma, but 5 minutes after the initial spray, you start getting more of purple flowers such as violets and irises, even though they're not listed in the notes, but you get that powdery essence purple flowers usually give to a fragrance. That powdery, makeup-y cosmetic feel is further emphasized with rose and lipstick aroma that give dense, sweet, thick layer of red or pink lipstick creaminess and smoothness to the fruity champagne top. And even though this smells powdery and lipsticky, it never smells vintage because champagne and fruits always add an iridescent sparkle and modern edge to this fragrance. In the heart, Guilty Crush smells like you sipped Coeur Royale and tinted the edges of a champagne glass with your creamy red lipstick. This smells so feminine, so beautiful. It's perfectly fruity, powdery, lipsticky scent that as time passes by becomes less effervescent, muskier and woodier with some earthy facets like some orris was used in the composition as well. The scent remains sweet, powdery, lipsticky and fruity, but in the base a touch of those darker notes appear, so they give some sensuality to the scent. They ground it so it wouldn't smell overly girly. And in the base, Guilty Crush smells like you're in a store looking for a new lipstick and you applied several creamy, powdery, rosy lipsticks on your hand mixed with some woody accords. So it finishes with a sweet, powdery, lipsticky, woody scent that is quite flirtatious, coquettish, and it always has a modern appeal because of its fruity, effervescent aroma. I really like this fragrance, and no wonder, since I like the scent of makeup and lipstick as far as I can remember, because that scent of lipstick reminds me of the occasion I was little and I watched my mom getting ready and applying lipstick. So there is something very warm, familiar and confidence boosting in that scent for me. Guilty Crush is a rich, fruity, effervescent, but also musky and woody scent that captures the essence of an expensive lipstick. It's definitely feminine, and I think it would be best for spring and autumn and maybe in the early summer as well, but it will be a bit cloying on very warm summer days. Women of all ages can wear it, but you must be into lipsticky, powdery and champagne fragrances to enjoy Guilty Crush. On my skin, it lasts between 7 to 8 hours with motor projection, so I have no issues with the performance. And this is one of the fragrances I'm considering getting a full bottle of because it just smells chic, girly, but also very seductive and feminine. Thus, Guilty Crush deserves 8.5 out of 10 for its scent and performance. The next sample is Ormonde Jayne Sakura, which made quite a buzz when it came out in 2022, and it comes in a beautiful, gradually tinted pink bottle. The name Sakura is a Japanese word for cherry blossom, and if you ever watched any Japanese anime, you probably heard of Sakura and even Hanami, which is a cherry blossom festival in springtime. Viewing cherry blossoms and appreciating their beauty is a tradition over 1,000 years long and a big tourist attraction in Japan as well. Sakura should capture the scent of those small, pink, delicate cherry blossoms blooming in the spring. Do you truly get a scent of cherry blossoms in Sakura? Well, the opening unexpectedly starts very sharp, very sour, very zesty and citrusy with a lot of spicy pepperiness, woodiness and greeness. The first time I tested this fragrance was in February when it was still winter in Croatia. So that opening was, to be honest, very tart, too screechy, sharp, too strong, too spicy for me, even though I like citruses and spices in fragrances. So Sakura truly shines the most in the warm weather, and now it doesn't smell so sharp. It smells sparkling, watery, citrusy, woody, slightly spicy and floral, so it captures the shimmering, zingy sensation of cold air on your skin as you look at the snowflakes melting on the delicate cherry blossom buds in the early spring. In the heart, floral and woody accords become more prominent. Even though most cherry blossom trees don't have any scents, the one that is growing at the end of my street has like a slight faint floral woody green aroma. Contrary to that, almost all cherry blossom fragrances I've tested so far have this like fantasy cherry blossom note that smells either fruity and cherry-like or powdery and almondy, and it's always very, very sweet. I expected to get something similar in Sakura as well, but Sakura avoids that extremely fruity or powdery root, and it's definitely not a sweet fragrance. Cherry blossoms here give unsweetened green woody aroma that is softened with powdery violets and deepened with leathery facets from osmanthus. But despite fresh green woody or even leathery facets, florals have some creaminess and milky plushness depicting fleshy cherry blossom petals. The heart smells like a walk through a park with blooming cherry trees in the early morning in the spring, because there is some watery freshness to this scent resembling drops of dew on satin smooth cherry blossom buds, but at the same time you get a woody suede-like scent of their branches as well. And as Sakura dries down, it gets softer, woodier, creamier, and more powdery, but the scent remains semi-sweet and floral. It depicts the sensation of getting closer to cherry blossom branch to inhale its light floral and woody aroma, while sunlight falls on its powdery, fleshy petals. Many describe Sakura as a cherry blossom watercolor painting, and they are correct because florals, woody, green, and fresh notes do get a bit blurry and abstract, but not completely devoid from reality. The scent is versatile and perfect for spring and summer, but in my opinion, it doesn't match the pink bottle. You're already conditioned to expect a very girly, fluffy, sugary, sweet, almost candy-like fragrance in Barbie realm. This isn't girly at all. It's not a very sweet perfume either. It has classy vibe almost all Ormonde Jayne fragrances have. So even though the scent is inspired by Japanese traditional flower viewing event, it has a lot of English elegance and poise. The scent is very different compared to other cherry blossom fragrances. It's quite unique, it's artistic, but it's not a safe blind buy. Some will love it, while others who expected a typical cherry-like or almondy cherry blossom scent you usually get in these type of fragrances might be overwhelmed with woody, peppery, citrusy, and floral notes in Sakura. On my skin, it lasts up to 7 hours with moderate projection, and even though I love the idea and the inspiration behind the fragrance, I'm not that into the scent, and maybe because I can still vividly recall that sharp, pungent, citrusy, peppery opening when I first tested the scent. So I would rate its scent and performance with 7 out of 10, and I won't be buying full bottle of it. But if you want a non-typical cherry blossom perfume with a very woody, green and fresh aspects that smells sophisticated and refined, Sakura will be a love for you. And the last sample for this video is BDK's Nuit de Sable, which name means Sunday night, and no wonder because hot sand accord is listed among the notes. The inspiration for this fragrance was a romantic encounter in the gardens of Palais Royal in Paris during the night where, as the BDK website describes, only footsteps echo on the sandy gravel intertwined with vibrant and magic roses in the garden. The name, Hot Sand Accord, and the description are all very interesting, but what about the scent? The opening of Nuit de Sable is extremely warm, spicy and woody, but somehow at the same time it's fresh and citrusy. And different spices have different qualities and aspects, and thus cardamom gives citrusy, lemony feel with some like aromatic, almost peppermint-like facets, while nutmeg adds sweetness, and together with cumin, they enhance woody aroma in the opening. So Nuit de Sable starts spicy, woody, fresh and aromatic, but spices don't clash. Rather, they work together to form oriental experience of Arabic spices. So Nuit de Sable transports you to the spice bazaar somewhere in the middle of a desert, so you can smell different spices mingling in the hot air together with the scent of dry, warm scent and woodiness from the stalls on the market where they sell spices. Woody spicy top lingers throughout the scent all the way to the base notes, but with time spices become softer and creamier, morphing into a sensation of smelling and touching real scent. Hot Scent Accord was created solely for Nuit de Sable, so you'll notice in the heart a touch of like metallic saltiness, probably done with mineralic notes, and it blends well with dry, woody spiciness from the top, evoking the illusion of hot scent flowing through your fingers. Also, you get a lot of ashy, suede-like and like smoldering woody notes as well. And with time, like 40 minutes into the scent, you start smelling a bit of rose, but this rose isn't a lush, vibrant garden-like rose. Rose here smells dried, a bit powdery and pale. It's always subtly placed in the shadows, just supporting the whole composition and never stealing light from sandy, woody spices. I can understand those who describe Nuit de Sable as the scent of a rosy cigar or like rose potpourri on some sand dunes, but I would describe it as the scent of the night in the desert when temperature drops down so much so you need to make fire to keep yourself warm, and there is still smell of spices on your clothes from the spice bazaar. You gathered driftwoods in the desert to make a fire, and you're boiling water to make some tea from dried rose buds. At the same time, you can smell dried powdery roses, smoldering woods, fainter smell of spices, dry wood, and some cool, windy air in the desert. This is how the heart of Nuit de Sable smells. I'm okay with the opening. I really like the heart of Nuit de Sable, but I'm in love with its base notes because at some point, spices other than the nutmeg fade, giving way to milky creaminess of the sandalwood and musk together with some powdery rose facets and sand lingering until the end. This smells like you've been transported into a video for Sting's song Desert Rose, and all you can smell around you is dry sand, creamy, warm, smoky wood, dried rose petals, cold air, and bits of spices. If Sting's song could be bottled, it would smell like Nuit de Sable because this is a woody, spicy, semi-sweet, dusty fragrance, and I really enjoy it. Even though when I saw a lot of ratings, reviews, I didn't think I would like it, but I do, especially because the magic happens in the dry down. Therefore, you must like spicy, woody, oriental rose fragrances to truly enjoy Nuit de Sable. If you hate one of those notes, this won't be a perfume for you. That's why Nuit de Sable is a polarizing fragrance, but also an olfactory artwork because it has the power to transport you to the desert. It gives you an actual sensation of desert sand. It makes you feel like a main character in Sting's video for the song Desert Rose. And even though it's not a mass appealing fragrance, even though it kind of challenges me, but at the same time, it pulls me in. I just feel mesmerized when smelling it. This is a completely unique experience. I can't think of another fragrance to compare it with, and thus I would suggest testing it first. It is a unisex fragrance for fall and winter, both day and night wear. I get about 6 to 8 hours of longevity on my skin with motor production, but be careful, the opening is very strong, very spicy and very sharp. And the opening makes me a bit reluctant about buying full bottle of it. I do think the scent is very underrated, it's under the radar, so I would rate its scent and performance with 8 out of 10. If you enjoyed these reviews and found them helpful so far, then book the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content coming up. And here's a quick recap of these 5 fragrances, but just keep in mind that ratings don't always reflect my personal favorites because they are always a combination of scent and performance. Therefore, 2 fragrances I like, but I don't see myself wearing them are Ormonde Jayne Sakura and Chanel Paris-Edimbourg. Sakura is an elegant, non-typical cherry blossom scent with woody, citrusy, and green facets, but I wish it was a bit sweeter, and I can still recall its pretty sharp opening the first time I tested it. So even though I like it more now, this isn't a perfume for me. And the second one is Paris-Edimbourg, and I love its beautiful, spicy, green, woody scent that transports you to Scotland's landscapes, but it's more masculine and therefore it's not a perfume for me, but on a man. This one would smell like a treat. 2 perfumes I really like are BDK's Nuit de Sable and Maison Margiela Beach Walk. Nuit de Sable is a scent of desert sand, spices, and woods encapsulated in a bottle. It caught me off guard. I didn't think I would like it, but I do. I won't purchase the full bottle of it because it's quite spicy in the opening, but the dry down is amazing, and I would love to have a candle that smells like this so I can occasionally have that Sahara desert-like experience. And the second strong like is Beach Walk, and it truly smells like that, like a walk on the beach, and I really do enjoy it, but it lacks the longevity, and that is the reason why it won't be joining my collection. And finally, the fragrance that completely blew me away is the new 2024 perfume release, the House of Food Guilty Crush. This is a powdery lipstick scent that has fizzy fruitiness and some darker, woodier notes, so it's girly and seductive at the same time. Since I love the scent of lipstick, of course I really enjoy it. I put it on my wish list and eventually it will join my collection. But this is what I think. What do you think of these fragrances? Which one do you own? Or if you don't, which ones sound the most interesting to you? Let me know in the comments. And if you would like to watch previous episode of this sampling, testing, finding out which perfumes are full bottle worthy, then check out this video next. I will see you there. Bye!